Welcome to the Divorce Devil Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Rachel. Follow us as we dive into all the positive and negatives of post-divorce recovery. Stay tuned for some real and sometimes raw end-of-the-road divorce topics. Please put on your big pants because we're full of honesty, authenticity, and irrefutable truths.
This progressive podcast ain't for the faint-hearted. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody out there to Divorce Devil, episode 73, 1 year from when she was born. Today we're talking about divorce recovery and the do's and don'ts, rules and or etiquette on social media. That is so huge. It is
so huge.
Really?
It's such a big big part of divorce.
Please help me.
Especially in these times.
In these big times. These large times.
Well, I went through divorce during, in the midst of COVID, December, I guess, 2019 when it first started, whatever. But yeah. Social media going through a divorce can be touchy. It can be make or break. You can be the villain. You could be the hero, depending on how much you put out there.
I think you almost need to stay off social media
at
the beginning because you do some stupid shit.
Well, some of the things, not even your divorce, but watching people be happy and we just had this party and we did this and we're celebrating our 35th anniversary and now we're doing this and he's so great, she's so wonderful, and you're just
die, sucker,
shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Die.
And then a lot of it is social media in general is so exaggerated that, you know, oh, you guys look great for 90 with all your filters and your whatever. So you can become cynical from seeing other people be happy when you're such in the depths and despair. I feel like too, when you're going through divorce, a lot of times you're alone. And so social media is that little escape that you have and seeing other people's lives, and it can go back to that, things that I don't have and I may not have. I'm not going to have the 35-year wedding anniversary with my ex-spouse. So, or seeing your old spouse having new stuff, new relationship, new this.
See, that's when I think it goes sideways because people try to brag during the divorce, after the divorce with their new stuff.
Yeah.
And they even, I took the kids to Disney World. Well, I didn't, but I took the kids to Disney World and, there's a bunch of pictures on there for Disney World and what's the other person going to do?
Yeah.
If they can't afford Disney World.
Well, I mean, even just minor things. You can afford to take them somewhere, but you can't afford to pay me my support or pay me childcare or, see your kids. But yet when you have them, let's go to we're going.
It's almost like bragging rights.
Yeah. So anything your ex posts that, you're just have an opinion on, it's going to be in your face.
Don't get sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
it's hard not to.
Well, and then you get to these things too, where you need to comment where you actually really don't need to comment.
You shouldn't comment.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You want to, you're a fucking asshole. But
that bitch looks nothing like me.
Oh, Facebook, might kick you off. Oh no, yeah. That's so sad. But yeah, I think part of it too is, what if your ex gets into a relationship really quick, and people may not even know that you were separated or divorced, and then you're having to explain, why didn't you tell me or whatever, and then it's a whole, oh shit, now I got to pick sides, or there's so much that goes into it because it's been such a part of our lives, especially the last 2 years. Yep. I mean,
especially the last 2 years.
Yeah. You've been stuck in the house. You're done with Netflix. I can't watch no more TV. And then, what else you have? You have your social media. And if you're in it new and you're by yourself a lot, you can go down that rabbit hole. That's You start stalking. Facebook stalker.
I saw a figure, or I heard a figure on the radio, I think, and they said that prior to COVID, there were 65,000 episodes on streaming.
Uh-huh.
Presently, there's 850,000 episodes of stuff on streaming channels.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, it's, get this. You can only watch your favorite show on this thing that you have to pay $17 a month for, and blah, blah, blah. And,
It kind of adds up.
Yeah.
So back to trying to heal and getting sucked in with social media. So Rachel and I both belong to separate Facebook divorce sites.
Groups, yeah.
And some of the stuff on there is very interesting. There's a lot of people out there hurting on both sides.
Well, I feel like there's actually even stages in the group. Like if someone new enters the group and like, hey, we're going through a separation, we're trying to figure out the divorce, depending literally on the moon phases.
Girl, let him go. You don't need him.
Mercury is in Gatorade or whatever the hell's happening. Your Pluto and your something's aligned and you all stuck up Uranus, because you can have the same conversation one day, and then 2 days later, there's no Mercury in Gatorade or whatever. And it was
totally different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what is happening? And we've discussed before too, like some women on there are like, oh, well, if a girl cheats or something, they're all like, oh, well, you weren't happy and blah, blah, blah.
He needed it.
He deserves it because he's this, blah, blah, blah. And you need your time with him and he wasn't there for you. But dude, like, if your ex cheated, it's all like, he's a scumbag, he's this. Well, it is double standard. Until someone calls him out. And I'm just like, oh, geez, I cannot comment in that. I'm just here for the comments.
Well, on the men's Facebook group, most of them are hurting.
Yeah.
And they there's a few that there's amicable, but most of them are just it's not amicable at all.
Yeah, and I feel like there's also a camaraderie that goes on with those, basically anonymous.
Yep.
Because if you're in a group, you can block those people from your private life thing, or if you're only in that, and people can just vet.
Every now and then, though, we do catch a woman in there trying to troll.
Oh, yeah, we do that too. Funny. Like, I guess someone will go on for an ex and they'll screenshot all the stuff that's being said. And so then that person's called out and then they're like, I got to leave because I don't know who my friends are right now. And so there is a lot of mistrust. But if you don't give a fuck and you go in there, it's just like, who you distrust. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and you just spew vomit. You're like, man, I don't care. And there's a lot of very pissed off, hurt. I miss my spouse, but I don't miss the shit. And there really is a lot of, helpful stuff, but there's a lot of toxic in those groups too.
Sometimes toxic is good.
Well, I feel like if people just agree with all the comments all the time or all the posts all the time, it's like, man, this is boring. Yeah. When's someone going to say, girl, that it's okay for you to cheat, but it's not okay for him to cheat. So why I did that. And I was just like, whoa, I have to turn off the comments.
Can't you see people kind of growing though?
Yeah. And the people that I've kind of been in it with from the beginning, like there's some people like you just notice the name or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, we've been going through it about the same time. Or like, they go like, oh my gosh, ladies, there is hope. I met the one. I found this guy. He's so great to me. There is hope out there. And then there's like, well, I'm only 2 weeks in and I hate everybody. And, a lot of times they're talking about dating apps. Get in there and like, how do you go into a dating app and where do you go to a dating app? So sometimes it is too like, I just want a booty call. Girls got needs.
They got booty calls on there?
Girls got needs. They're like, where do I go safely to get a booty call? I'm like,
that's kind of like a contradiction of terms, safely and booty call.
Exactly. Well, that should be someone you probably know.
That's not safely.
There are some women in my group who have been like, I'm going to bat for the other team today just because I hate men. So yeah, some of that happens too. Dave, I mean, you
That
would be
doesn't
surprised.
happen in my group. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure it
girls,
doesn't happen in my
girls
group.
are being like, you know what? I'm over the peen. I'm over it.
It's a peen. But that's such a big leap.
Well, I guess if you're old enough and you've been through a bunch of penis and it's not what you need, then you figure it out.
No, you don't need that penis. There's others out there.
But you know what? Sometimes the peen is all the same. I'm sorry. David, your face. No, I'm just saying, like, remember that one time I talked about like how men just have different screw-on heads? Or was that with you? That might not have been this conversation. I think early on
I think
dating,
that
it was just
us.
like, yeah.
it was us.
Early on dating, it almost feels like everybody is the same with a different story. And it's like, all right, well, let me pick the best one. It's like Lego heads. You pop it off.
So-
It's the
so
same
it's almost
Lego
like-
dude body, but like yeah.
the lesser of all the evils. Let
Yeah.
Let me pick this one.
Yeah. And I think it comes back to that pros and cons of, you know, what your
Penis.
needs are. I mean,
I've never met a screw-on penis. If you find one, I don't want to see it.
I mean, I've met a lot of penis with batteries. And
That's different.
they're named.
Because you can
They
pick
got
them.
this. Well, back in the day, you had to unscrew the bottom, put the batteries in it, and then screw it back on. So then twist it enough where it turns on.
How did we go from social media to vibrators? Okay.
Hey,
Back to social media.
have you been to this podcast? Have you
Yeah.
actually attended?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it nap time? You getting yourself some pudding?
I'm trying to figure it out right now because I'm still thinking about screw-on penises. But yeah. Like there's
I mean, like Lego heads where you
there's
can
like
pop
a
them off. They're
conveyor
all the
belt.
same,
and
just
hey,
different. Some are smarter than others. Some are just, you know, eye candy. Some are, you know, not the peen, but the person attached to the peen.
Okay.
I love when you're speechless on this podcast where you're supposed to talk. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
I crack myself up.
I'm never gonna go into the YMCA shower and think the same again.
Oh, but I mean, the penises are different sizes and stuff, but just what people are working with, it's almost just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not the motion in the ocean; it's the size of the oar.
But yeah, the I don't know, the connection level. I don't know.
Oh, the connection.
When
Like,
you're first going through divorce, you really don't give a shit. And like early on, especially too, like, okay, social media, some guys like, hey, I've already known you forever, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know you were divorced. Want to go out for dinner? Not really, but you know, I'm hungry. You try it.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I'd be hungry.
I might have a snack or two. Some appetizers. But yeah, so it's just like there's no substance to early on dating. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure there's people who right away find somebody, but you got to go through all that crap. You got to clean out your DMs on social media. We are talking about social media, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to pull us
Yes.
back from our
Yes.
squirrelness and
Yes.
the peen talk.
Yes. I'm just concentrating on the peen right now. That's okay. That's all
That could
right.
be on your Facebook status, just looking for peen.
Looking for peen. How do you
Not
spell
single,
peen?
not in a relationship,
does-
looking for peen.
How do you spell peen? P-I-E-N?
P-E-N.
P-E-N.
P-E-E-N.
P-E-N.
Yeah.
As in Ben, but pen.
Like double E-N. Peen.
Peen. Okay.
Because it's pen if it's one E.
Well, no.
Why do I have to be smart here? I don't wanna.
Because I have the peen. I can't.
And you
think
don't know how to
right
spell
now.
peen?
Yes.
I think you just say penis. It's so much funner.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a word. Hi, hello, brr. And Facebook pops up. You
That's
saw it, right?
hilarious. Yes.
Facebook knew
Yeah,
we were
one
talking
notification.
about him.
One notification. Peen. It was
You have a DM from Peen.
notification.
Just a big old pickle.
I love that sound. Ba-doom.
Broom.
That was right on time.
It literally was okay. You've won the lottery.
Yes.
Let's see how long that takes. No, so
So when you're going through it,
Mhm.
or when you're in it,
mhm.
going through it, or after it,
Yeah.
I think you should do limited social media because you get sucked in.
Well, and I think generally there's like a couple types of social media people, right? There's very vague, don't ever post. There's overshares. There's mean. There's I'm neutral, but I'm not. There's what is it?
What do the neutrals but not say?
They say they don't really have an opinion, but they absolutely have an
Do.
opinion. Yeah. Like I always say, my sister's always, I don't want your pity, but I'm going to tell you everything, but actually what's wrong. And you should guess or ask me. But then when you ask me, like, it's personal, like,
Figure it out.
whatever, then stop posting like
So then chase your
vague
tail.
bullshit.
Chase your tail.
I don't want your pity, but yet you really want my pity because you're posting vague stuff. Today was
Yeah.
the worst day ever, and blah, 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 and just hope everybody knows, blah. And you're like, whatever. Like, dude, stop. But I think part of social media too is, that facade of, perfect life, whatever. So when you have something that's doesn't fall along those lines, or you're, always inflated your life, how do you tell people you're divorced? Like, I would get DMs are like, why'd you change your name? I'm like, we've been divorced 1.5 years. Like, people I've known for 20 some years didn't know my maiden name was Peterson. Like, wait, what? Okay. So
But
I'm
you
just,
don't want to hide it either. You don't want to hide it.
no. And
like
I
it's
know
a
a lot
fact.
of people, when they are going through divorce, they will just drop all last names. So it'd be like, first name only, or first and
Fred.
middle name. Yeah. And or
First name Fred, last name Crickets.
Peen. Wait, that's weird because that's my brother's name. That's really weird. Yeah, don't say that ever again. Never, ever, ever again.
Harry. Harry Peen.
Ginormous Peen.
We are here to help people. Oh my God, let's help some people.
I don't know how now. All I'm thinking about is penis. Okay, back to social media.
But I think that's also part of, we can go back to episode 72 about the parking structures.
Yeah.
So let's say you're on social media and you're like doing a brain dump.
Yeah.
Like a brain dump, heart dump, and everything else. And you shouldn't do that. Yeah. That's not the place to bare your soul, because too many people can see and too many people can get misconstrued.
And guess what? That's going to be there forever unless you delete it.
Yep.
And then that's a whole other thing. And like children involved and families that you're no longer in and all this other stuff. I've had so many people block me because of stuff my ex had said. And then they're like, oh, well,
They block you because of him?
You don't even care about my side. But, I don't need to explain myself to you. And then I'll go and be like, friend request from this person. I'm like, I thought we were friends already.
Nope. Peen.
And then I'm like, nope, you might know this one. I'm like, well, I do know them, but apparently they deleted me or blocked me.
Oh, but now they want to talk to me.
Yeah. But I think too, when you do a status change, when you do a relationship update, when you do like, some of mine are more like, don't let people be shitty to you, or don't let people, and then people start seeing pictures of like me and my kids without their dad, or him living somewhere I don't live. And they're like, oh, well, did you guys buy an extra house or did you do this? I mean, early on, not now, of course, but having to explain to people who really don't matter and be like, no, we're just divorced. Okay. Have a great day.
Have a nice day.
And I think on social media too, you decide how much of your story you tell. When you're, at a baseball game and you're becoming friendly with someone, you can decide then too, like how much of your story you're going to tell them as you get to know them. Where in social media, it's like, if you want everybody to know right now, today was your divorce day, like today divorce is final. You can do that.
So it's almost like you control the narrative.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are like, how do I look the best in this? Even if you you weren't the greatest, or, how do I make myself look good? Even though I'm, the saddest I've ever been, or the happiest you've ever been, and you're not with that person anymore, or you're doing vacations and they see this new person in your pictures. You're like, well, who's that guy? And then that's a whole other thing that you have to do. Or, boasting about, how happy you are, this and that. And like, I'm friends with my ex on Facebook because I don't have really a reason not
You
to,
guys
because
have
we
kids
share
together.
kids. Yeah. And like, we just did a birthday party together and posted stuff.
How'd that go?
It was great. It was really
There's
good.
hope out there for people who get divorced and still be relatively
And
friends.
we split the costs and we split the invites of who.
What is that like, Rachel? Explain to us.
It's actually
What's that
very
like?
not stressful.
Not as stressful as the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I mean, and my son was like, "Can we do something together?" And as soon as he asked that, yes, the answer is yes. No matter how I feel or how my ex feels, yes, and we're gonna make it work because he turned 11. He can't do that. He can't throw the party for himself at Top Golf or wherever like we had it there. So we made it work. And like, he got the cupcakes and I got the treat bags. He paid for this, I paid for that. And it really did work out because then he sees us trying to make it work. Yeah. And it's all about him. And his friends, were there. And, there's some people that are divorced. And, I really think, being able to post that my son's 11 and, pictures of his dad and myself, and people can see that it's an option, that you don't have to use your kids and make your kids miserable, and you don't have to have 2 birthday parties. I mean, if you want to, that's great, but we both were what are you doing?
2 graduation parties, 2 birthday parties.
Yeah, well, we have Lance's daughter's graduating high school, and then his other daughter's graduating college, and they're a week apart, and they have family that does not talk, and so it's literally walking on eggshells, and the only ones really being affected are the kids.
And everybody's at the same party.
Mm-hmm. Well, one is they're having it on a day that the college graduation we're going to have on a Sunday, and we have invited his ex-wife, and because why not? And then the graduation for the high school is the day of the graduation at her boyfriend's house, because we're doing a shared thing there. And so we're trying to make it work, but there's literally family members that don't talk. And we were like, who's being affected? The kids. But not everybody sees it. Like, you don't have to be pinning your kids against people, but you actually are.
Yep.
You're actually making that a choice that they have to make. Be like, I want to invite this person. I know the other person doesn't talk to them, but I'm still inviting them. So now that person that's invited knows that they're being invited, and the other person being invited. So now it's uncomfortable.
So when you put those pictures on Facebook, it kind of calms the savage beast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, like, there's sides. There's sides of everything, and especially on social media. I'm either gonna love your post or be pissed off that you posted that, right?
Yep.
Or like, oh, good for you. Like, I just got a new car and I wanted to be so excited about it. And I did post it. I'm like, look what I did by myself. Like, I did this. Look at what just happened. And then I got a comment from, my aunt. She was just like, oh, are you bragging? Yeah, I'm bragging.
It's almost like you can't win on
because
social
media. I've told you everything about how wonderful my divorce was. Like, come on. Like,
there's always going to be distractors, no matter what you post.
It's so nice. I wish I could get that.
Yeah.
Or what? Come on. Why can't you just be happy and move along? Or scroll. Girl, scroll.
It's almost like they do, what do you call that? Not positive, negative.
A passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Passive
Absolutely.
aggressive. Yep.
And social media in general starts out passive aggressive. You could be saying the nicest thing to someone and we're like, well, not really. Here's my view and my opinion. And if you're not saying my opinion, I don't agree with you. Okay, good. That's great. But Garen, this is my page. You don't like it. There's a block button. There's a unfollow. There's a whatever you want.
Yep.
Don't,
But they don't, because
they
rather complain about it than
move
like
along.
Unfollow.
And like, I think a lot of it comes too with like hurt. Like, if you didn't know that I got divorced for a year and you thought we were close, now you know we're not that close because I didn't tell you. Now you're mad at me because I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Because that's happened too.
You can't win.
No. And so you're like, everything has to be, a thought out process where like, hey, I changed my name back to what it was, even though my license doesn't say that. and I, was granted a name change, but I'm going through the process, when if and when, like when I did my status, like married, divorced, whatever, I just didn't put anything because I didn't want to have to explain it. And it's no one else's business. Now, like my ex, as soon as he's got a new girlfriend, it's like in a relationship with this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And I've gotten along with all of them. So whatever. Yep. And other people are like, oh, you see, he updated his status. I'm like, it's his personal Facebook. He could do whatever he wants.
Yep. We are no longer together.
And I don't have to agree with it. But like, we're together. We're together in a parental connection. But what he does doesn't affect me.
You guys aren't going to go out on a double date.
Yeah, no.
2503 in parting words. This is a quick one.
So if you have a new relationship and you're on whatever platform that you use and you change your status and your other person doesn't, that's a big deal. We were talking about that at work today. It
the
was
one
like,
you're going out with?
Yeah, like someone's like, so this guy I'm dating and he's made it official.
But he didn't change
put in
his
a
status.
relationship with person and he's just single still.
It's like, okay. Be patient, ladies.
I was like, well,
Be
then
patient.
he's still single. That's okay.
No,
like,
no, deep down inside, he's taken. But sometimes he doesn't get on. He forgot his password.
Forgot
patient,
what the word edit looks like.
Give it a couple of weeks. He'll eventually change.
Do you think when people are going through divorce early, there's too many things that they share?
I think so.
Yeah.
On
What's
social
something
media
we shouldn't share?
And with friends. You shouldn't share too much with the kids.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's foremost.
Yeah.
You shouldn't share.
He makes this much money and he only gives me $12.
Yeah.
What the hell? You can't put out you can't blast people either.
He or she was no good at sex. We don't want to blast that.
Oh, peen size?
Yeah. Or no. I'm not talking peen size. I'm talking
ocean in the motion.
No, I'm talking
ocean.
the whole experience.
The foreplay to the end?
Is that the experience?
I don't know, David.
Yeah, the whole
like when you text and you're like, oh, it's on tonight. That starts foreplay for me.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
He might have been talking about Ozarks.
Oh, yeah, that is, well, that's been on.
It's on tonight.
Yeah.
Or the stove is on tonight. The oven's on.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's not what I mean ever. Nope. By the way,
that
it's
brings
happening.
up another thing too. Words or texts or posts there's no emotion in them, so you really can't read them all the way right sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and there's no, like you said, there's no like flexion in a post. So like if you're joking, like without that parentheses of sarcasm or joking, people don't know how to take it. And my general is most of the things I post are sarcastic whatever. Way. Or it's a picture of my kid doing something for sports or whatever. But like, I know a lot of people overshare early on and then they regret it and people have seen it. Or like if they're even with not even divorced, when they're fighting with someone, oh, you're stupid. You know what? Blah, blah. This person did this, or calling people out and, tagging people in things that, don't even have anything to do with them. And, today's the big day. Like I'm going on my first date. Like, okay, keep it to yourself. Like, or they post like, I'm on this is my username, blah, 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 blah. Because Facebook has a dating section. And I don't know I don't know if Facebook dating was after I met Lance. So I think like, I don't know. So I don't know. Do you date your friends or do you date people that you know? Or no. Nah, that's a no for me. No, I don't know. No. If we're friends and we're not friendly, then no.
No.
And I don't want to date the third degree of someone I can't stand, but I'm Facebook friends with them because I don't want to block them. So then they give me bullshit.
Say what?
So I don't know how the Facebook dating works, but I'm assuming that if you go on there, it's probably like your friend that you're friends with is on, or I don't know.
They're on and single.
Someone tell me how it works, and then I can have an opinion on it because I'm not sure. Because I don't want to date Joe's bros, cousins, uncles, nephew, and then be like,
But you know, it's always bros before hoes.
what? It's chicks before dicks.
Wow.
You know, sisters before misters. We want to get
Please
technical.
Stop. Please stop. So what I heard you say,
Friends
Friday,
before peen.
what I hear you say is that people should stop oversharing
Mm-hmm.
and maybe limit their online presence a little bit, you know, till things kind of calm down.
Think about it like a text. How many times when you are having a disagreement or communication problems with someone, like I always go back to my sister, 5,000 times I have wrote something to her just to get her, and then I have to delete it. And then the answer is K. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've
That was like
actually,
a stream of consciousness.
I've typed it all out.
Delete. Okay.
I know what I want to say, but I don't really want any more bullshit. So it's like, all right, cool. Great. Have a great day. I haven't talked to my sister in over a year, so I don't even know. But again, we're not working through that today. That's in the
Everything else, but not that today.
That's in the not fucking forgiveness section.
Yeah. Yeah. The one with the one parking spot that's kind of
Yeah.
like cloaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so crazy because someone we know very close has met their person from TikTok just
Oh.
from a comment.
See?
So, I mean, there's ways to meet
There's
people
ways to
and
meet
there's
people out
ways,
there.
you know, social media can be, you know, telling of.
Good or bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of times if you know that person in life pretty good, you can sense like, yeah, she's bullshitting.
Too crazy.
This is full of
Cray,
shit.
cray.
She full of malarkey. Yeah. Oh, I love
All
that
right,
word.
everybody.
Bologna.
So once again, we just talked about the ins and outs of social media during, before, and after
Yeah.
divorce.
And like, you know, you're on a first date with someone. You don't need to share your selfie because
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow's date may not like that.
Yep.
I'm
That'd
saying-
be cool to take a selfie with every guy you went out with. That'd be so cool.
I
Or
know
girl.
some people who literally have a fucking War and Peace book. Literally. Be
Wow.
like, this is 9,000 pages long. Well, I mean, you do have to figure out who you want to date and
Yeah.
who you know, who your person is. But there's some over daters too. Serial daters.
All right, everybody, watch out for the peen.
Remember, friends before peen.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.